The March 2024 release date for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has been postponed. A new release date is still pending. But in December 2023, writer-producer Christopher Miller gave us a positive update on the much-awaited threequel, stating that work had resumed after the actors' strike was resolved. We're quite enthusiastic about the direction the plot is taking. It's as emotionally charged as the first two, and I believe it's a really gratifying ending to the trilogy. We're up to our knees in it. In August 2023, Miller and fellow writer-producer Phil Lord provided an update on the release of Beyond the Spider-Verse, stating that it will happen when it is ready in an interview with Digital Spy. When asked for an update on the release date, Lord said, "Those conversations are thankfully above our pay grade, but I can tell you we're already hard at work on it, and we'll take the time it takes to make it great. We are presently unsure of the release date for the third installment, but in the meanwhile, you can binge watch Across the Spider-Verse on Netflix US and Sky Cinema in the UK, as well as purchase it digitally. The solutions to the sequel's startling finale will have to wait for the time being. Here's all the information you need to know about Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse while you wait. Beyond the Spider-Verse potential release date. When can we expect Spider-Verse 3? As previously stated, the release date for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has been indefinitely postponed. The intended release date of the film was March 29, 2024. The same creative team that worked on the first two films simultaneously is returning for the threequel. Writers Lord, Miller, and David Callahan, directors Joaquim dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson. There was always a chance of delays, and it's official now that fans will have to wait a little while longer to see Miles Morales on television. For what duration? It is possible that we are discussing late 2024 or early 2025, but no formal confirmation has been made as of yet. Venom 3 by Sony was likewise postponed from July 12, 2024 to November 8, 2024. We can only dream, but July 2024 is definitely too soon for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Beyond the Spider-Verse cast, who's coming back for Spider-Verse 3. Although the cast of Beyond the Spider-Verse is still unknown, we may speculate quite a bit about who will return. Issa Rae as Jessica Drew, Daniel Kaluuya as Hobie Brown, Oscar Isaac as Miguel O'Hara, and Shameik Moore and Haley Steinfeld as Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy, respectively, will probably join them. In addition, The Spot, Peter B. Parker, Spider-Man India's Paviter Prabhakar, and Luna should all make a comeback. Jefferson Davis and Rio Morales, Miles' parents, are portrayed by Lauren Bellis. If you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse yet, turn away now as we're about to get spoilery. At the conclusion of Across the Spider-Verse, Gwen assembles her own team of Spider-Men from several multiverses, which includes Penny Parker from the previous film, Spider-Man Noir, and Spider-Ham. With any lucky, it implies John Mulaney, Kimiko Glenn, and Nicolas Cage will be back as Spider-Man in the upcoming film. In the sequel, we were first exposed to a large number of Spider-People, such as Amandla Stenberg's Margot Kess and Andy Samberg's Ben Reilly. However, it looks like there will be more. Oddly enough, there was almost a plastic version of Spider-Man in the film. Dos Santos, the director, told Empire one of the Toy Biz Spider-Man toys was going to show up and he was going to have a giant kid's hand that would go off screen and hold him. The decision to keep Miles' tail cool emotionally was ultimately made by the team. In this story, imagination really has no bounds. Whether you believe it or not, Collider was teased by Lord. You thought you've seen every Spider-Person you could imagine, but not every Spider-Person we can imagine. Go ahead and do it. Beyond the Spider-Verse plot. What can we expect from Spider-Verse 3? Although the official storyline summary for Beyond the Spider-Verse is still unknown, the conclusion of Across the Spider-Verse masterfully sets up the upcoming film. Being trapped on Earth 42, Miles is at the mercy of the Prowler, another Miles Morales from that reality. In that alternate reality, his father has passed away and his mother is dating his uncle Aaron. The spider that bit our Miles was sent by the Spot to his reality, thus that universe doesn't have a Spider-Man. Director Joaquim dos Santos disclosed in an interview with Empire that the 1961 live-action Disney comedy The Parent Trap served as an inspiration for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Basically, that ended up becoming the second half of the movie, which then ended up becoming mostly the third movie. Chris Miller, the producer, also mentioned The Prince and the Pauper as a major influence. Early on, a few emotional touchstones were still relevant. The early perspective was, in my opinion, far more Prince and the Pauper in nature. It has more to do with the different Miles. Essentially, the most of the original concept was contained at what is now the very end of the film. Apart from the plot-teasing facts, not much is known about the official synopsis of the film, albeit a few things are expected. Fortunately, Miles may soon get assistance since, as previously indicated, Gwen now has her own squad of Spider-Man to go find him. That is, after they figure out where he is. Miles must return to his own reality because the Spot intends to murder his father when he is promoted to police captain. Miles wants to halt what is slated to be a canon event in his reality, but Miguel wants it to happen in order to save the Spider-Verse. As Miles tries to save his father, we may anticipate Miles, Gwen, and company facing off against Miguel, Jessica, and the rest of the Spider Society in the foundation of Beyond the Spider-Verse. This conflict may even take us to previously uncharted territory. It means a lot of things, but it also means we see a sort of map representation of the known Spider-Verse. But there are things that can exist outside of that web of life and destiny. If you will, Miller told Collider about the significance of the term. The threequel is expected to have at least one more form of Gwen Stacy, much as the sequel had a new Miles. Yes, I would say that. It is present on the page. I believe that things change as time goes on, Miller said in an interview with the Crew Call podcast. Additionally, he hinted that one of these renditions would see the comic book scenario of Gwen Stacy's death come to pass. I won't say anything at all. However, I think it's kind of plot integral. Shammack-Moore said to Digital Spy that he has not even seen the sequel's screenplay, so don't expect any spoilers from the actors. I think my reaction is that what it would have felt like reading for the first time is probably very similar to watching it in its entirety for the first time, he stated. A lot of the events in this movie were new to me when I watched it. I'm eager for the upcoming round. Beyond the Spider-Verse trailer, any Spider-Verse 3 footage yet? Unfortunately, not yet, and given the delays, a trailer for Beyond the Spider-Verse is much farther off than it was previously. When Across the Spider-Verse was scheduled to premiere in October 2022, we first saw a teaser in December 2021. The first trailer was released in December 2022, just before the film's release in June 2023. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.